Harrison, we just heard that Star Wars has done $113 million at the box office.
Ooh-wee.
Now, that means you're set for life, I guess, does it?
No, I don't take it personally, you understand. I mean, I'm real heartened by the success of the movie, but you can't count every dollar spent as going into my pocket.
No, I know that. Don't you wish that you had signed, though, for maybe some of the gross proceeds?
Well, I'm happy to say that George Lucas is the kind of guy that never neglects his generosity. He took one of his, a portion of his percentage of the film and split it up between Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, myself, and Sir Alec Guinness. So I am participating in the success of it, but only through Mr. Lucas's exceptional generosity.
Harrison, now you were Han Solo, the pirate captain,
Right.
and everyone else was either good or evil, and you were sort of in between.
Just an ordinary guy.
That's right.
That's part of the joy of that part. It's you get a chance to change a little bit. It's almost an actor-proof part, the way it's all set up, and the relationships that are established at the beginning, and then the opportune reappearance at the end. It's a great. I was delighted with it.
You know, the rapport you had with the princess was just fantastic. I'm sure if the...
That's it. Just a rapport, you understand.
There was a couple of winks there at the end. I'm sure that if we went a few more reels, that we would see...
Well, we're planning to, you know.
We're
planning to start in 1979 with a sequel, so that wink may grow.
You may be walking down the aisle.
Maybe, maybe not.
When you made the film and were actually going through the motions, Harrison, did you actually feel that it was going to be that great of a motion picture?
Oh, Lord, no. I mean, if you went around thinking anticipating this kind of success, they would have locked you up before you had, anything in the camera. Anticipating this kind of success, we never did that. We hoped it was going to be as good as we thought it was, but we never anticipated, even with our highest expectations, that it was going to be as successful as it is. It's become a cultural phenomenon, you know.
Did you have any reservations in playing opposite a carpet?
A hairy walking carpet? No, he's the one I didn't worry about. See, part of Lucas's genius is that he gave all of those weird types human potential and human relationships. So there was really no more difficult playing to him than many of the actors that I know.
I wonder how they got the makeup on some of those people.
Well, Chewbacca, the Wookiee, had a hand-tied human hair suit. There was an entire wig on his body. And then he wore a mask, an articulated mask that was controlled by his own tongue, pushing against a lever on the inside, operated the jaw. A lot of the other people in the cantina, well, it took hours and hours of makeup. The monsters in that cantina are a whole separate case.
Well, I could see a whole movie on just that cantina.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great?
Who played inside Chewbacca?
That was a man named Peter Mayhew, who, until we started the film, had been a hospital orderly in London. He had never acted in a film before.
The part that I got a kick out of with you was when you escaped out of the magnetic field or something. I know in the theater, when I saw it, everyone applauded.
That's the jump to hyperspace,
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
And at the end, people applauded.
Yeah, it's a real treat to sit through that film with an audience, for me.
Harrison, how many times have you seen it?
I've only seen it 3 times.
Did you get a little more out of it each time?
Sure I did. You know, the second time was just to see if I really saw what I thought I saw the first time. And the third time I saw it with an audience, which was entirely different than the first 2 times I saw it. I'm real happy with it, of course.
Harrison, we've talked so much about the motion picture itself, and it's good to hear that we're going to see you again as Han Solo, but what has Harrison Ford done up to this time?
Well, I've been in the business for 13 years in Los Angeles, and done a lot of television and movies for television, specials for television. and probably 12, 14 films over that period of time. But I left the business for about 5 years to become a carpenter. And since I've returned in the last 4 years, I think I've done American Graffiti, also for George Lucas, and The Conversation for Francis Ford Coppola. Just finished a film called Heroes with Henry Winkler and Sally Fields, directed by Jeremy Kagan. And I worked in Apocalypse Now with Francis Ford Coppola, plus some television stuff during that period of time.
You're very busy.
Well, I'm not too busy, but I'm working and having a good time.
What about your carpentry? Why did you go into carpentry?
Well, I spent the first 3 years when I came out to Los Angeles, when I went out to Los Angeles, under contract to go to Columbia at first, and then Universal. And I didn't fare very well under that system. I didn't much enjoy it. They were still doing the old Hollywood star system, 30 years past the time when it was appropriate, I felt. So I wanted to get out of the business for a while and lay back and regroup and get into it with a little more enthusiasm and energy. And carpentry just, well, I had the clothes for it. You know? I did all kinds of carpentry, starting out doing remodeling and additions and stuff, but I did end up doing furniture and cabinets and stuff.
Harrison, what are some of the things that you did before you got back into films that we'd recognize you for, some of the television work and film?
Oh, gosh, I did the FBI and the Virginian in Gunsmoke and Way West, Ironsides, all of them.
Did you play a heavy, or?
Well, sometimes. For very often, I played the guy that didn't do it. You know, the guy who has the scene at the beginning where they shake him by the scruff of the neck and say, "We've got you dead to rights. We know you did it." And I protest. Then they come back in the middle of the show and for another interview with me, and they say, "Well, now we're not so sure. We've discovered you've got quite a sensitive nature." And at the end, they come back and say, "Well, gosh, you didn't do it after all." And I say, "Well, I told you that at the beginning."
Why did we have to go through this?
Yeah, well, that's what I figured. Why do I have to go through this?
Harrison, apparently at the beginning when you got into Star Wars, I don't know what your agent or George told you, but you were a little uptight about some of the dialogue. Is that right?
I wasn't uptight about it. I did tell George that you could type it, but you couldn't say it. And I was right about some of it. We worked it out. You know, it was a matter of style, and it was hard to judge the style of the piece from the written word. We didn't really get into defining a style of it until we had a chance to work, the three of us together, Mark, Carey, and I. And then we had, the ensemble produced a style that we could stick with.
I think George said in an interview in Rolling Stone that he thought maybe one scene really didn't work, and that's where you guys go into the garbage.
He was disappointed in the monster.
Yeah.
That came up out of the garbage. Well, it went by so quick I didn't really notice. Of course, it's impossible to be objective about something you're that close to. I don't know. It seems to work fairly well for audiences. I think George should keep his big mouth shut.
Harrison, are you instantly recognizable now on the street?
No, I'm happy to say that I have maintained the kind of invisibility that even James Earl Ray was denied. I'm the kind of person that you don't recognize, fortunately. I like that, because I think too much recognition works against the job of being an actor.
Have you seen the script for the sequel yet?
No, I haven't. It's not yet written. George is just now beginning to pull together some ideas for it.
Well, Harrison, it was a great movie, and I thought you played your part very, very well, and I hope you have continued success. And it's nice talking to you.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot, Harrison.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.